You've probably felt it. That moment when you tell yourself, you'll only check Instagram for 5 minutes, and 45 minutes later, you're still scrolling. That moment when you promise yourself you won't eat the cake, and then you eat the cake. That moment when you swear you'll start working on that project tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. You blame yourself. You think you lack willpower. You think you're weak. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is that you're trying to resist temptation instead of designing your environment to make resistance unnecessary? There's a Greek myth about the most famous sailor who ever lived, a man who faced a temptation so powerful that even he knew he couldn't resist it. Let's start with who Odysseus actually was. Odysseus was the king of Ithaca, the hero of Homer's Odyssey, the man who came up with the idea of the Trojan horse. He was clever, resourceful, and cunning, the kind of person who could talk his way out of almost any situation. But even Odysseus knew that some temptations were too powerful for reason alone. On his long journey home from the Trojan War, Odysseus and his crew had to sail past the island of the Sirens. The Sirens were creatures who sang a song so beautiful, so irresistible, that any sailor who heard it would be drawn to jump into the sea and swim toward them. And once they reached the Sirens, they would be destroyed. Their bodies left to rot on the island, their bones bleaching in the sun. No sailor had ever heard the Sirens' song and lived. No one. Odysseus wanted to hear it. He was curious, he was proud. He wanted to be the first man to hear the Sirens' song and survive. But he also knew himself well enough to know that he couldn't trust himself. He knew that if he heard the song, he would lose control. He would jump. He would die. So he did something brilliant. He didn't try to be strong. He designed the situation so that strength wasn't necessary. He ordered his men to fill their ears with beeswax, so they couldn't hear the song at all. Then he instructed them to tie him to the mast of the ship with ropes, and he gave them a strict order. No matter what he said, no matter how much he begged, no matter how much he screamed and struggled, they were not to untie him, and then they sailed past the island. The Sirens sang their beautiful, irresistible song. Odysseus heard it, and it was everything he had imagined. The music was so beautiful that he wanted nothing more than to jump into the sea and swim toward them. He begged his men to untie him. He screamed. He struggled against the ropes. He promised them riches, honors, anything they wanted if they would just let him go. But his men, with their ears full of wax, couldn't hear a word he said. They just kept rowing. And when the ship was safely past the island, they untied him. And he realized that he had survived. He had outsmarted his own desire, not by being stronger than it, but by making it impossible for his future self to act on it. This is the myth of the Sirens and Odysseus, but it's actually a story about something much more relevant to your life than you might think. In the 1980s, a psychologist named Walter Mischel ran a series of experiments that became famous as the marshmallow test. Children were offered a choice. They could eat one marshmallow immediately, or they could wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. Some children ate the marshmallow right away. Others found ways to distract themselves. They covered their eyes. They turned around. They sang songs to themselves. But here's the part that most people don't know. Mischel wasn't really studying willpower. He was studying something else. He was studying how children designed their environment to make waiting easier. The children who succeeded weren't the ones with the most willpower. They were the ones who found ways to stop thinking about the marshmallow. They covered their eyes. They hid the marshmallow from themselves. They created barriers between themselves and temptation. They were designing their environment, just like Odysseus. Later research confirmed this insight. A 2011 study by Wilhelm Hoffmann found that people who reported high self-control were not actually better at resisting temptation. They were better at avoiding it altogether. They didn't spend their willpower resisting the cookie. They simply didn't keep cookies in the house. The people who had the most willpower were the people who used it the least, because they designed their lives so they didn't need to use it. This is called a commitment device, a strategy where you lock yourself into a course of action to prevent yourself from making a different choice later. Odysseus tying himself to the mast is one of the oldest recorded commitment devices in human history, and we use them all the time. You set an alarm clock across the room so you can't hit snooze. You put your phone in another room so you can't scroll in bed. You delete social media apps from your phone so you can't mindlessly open them. You tell a friend your goals so you're accountable. You pre-commit to actions before temptation strikes. These are all modern versions of Odysseus tying himself to the mast. And here's the disturbing part. The companies that design your apps understand this better than you do. They know that willpower is a limited resource. They know that the more they can exhaust it, the more likely you are to keep scrolling. So they design their products to constantly challenge your willpower. Notifications are designed to be irresistible. Feeds are designed to be infinite. Content is designed to be emotionally engaging. They are the siren's song, and they are singing constantly. But there's a profound difference between Odysseus and you. Odysseus designed his environment consciously, deliberately, to protect himself from the sirens. You, on the other hand, are living in an environment designed by someone else, designed to break your willpower, designed to keep you scrolling, designed to make you feel weak. The myth of Odysseus and the sirens is not a story about strength. It's a story about wisdom. The wisdom to know that you cannot always trust yourself. The wisdom to know that sometimes the smartest thing you can do is tie yourself to the mast. Understanding the mechanism doesn't automatically free you from it, but it gives you the power to design your own environment, to choose your own mast, to fill your own ears with wax. The sirens are still singing, but you don't have to listen. If this kind of deep dive into where ancient myths and modern psychology actually connect fascinates you, don't forget to subscribe and check out this next video. You're going to love it. The island fades behind him. The song never really stopped. It just changed shape. And you can break free too. Sometimes freedom just means walking away. Draw your own line. Let the bedroom be a mast-free zone. Block the song before it starts. Let someone else hold the rope. Write the rule before you need it. No willpower required. Just good design. This is what surviving the song looks like. Every day, you get to choose again. Silence is a mast of its own. Protect the battery. Don't just drain it. A tool in your hand, not a hook in your mind. The sirens are still out there, but so is the version of you who designs around them. See you in the next one. Tie the knot. Turn it off. Choose wisely. Let the song lose its power. Stand free. A new day starts now.